How are you, Mahina?
I'm as well as can be, you know. We are in lockdown here in New Zealand, so we'll probably get some more news on the levels that we're on, we're level 4. So I think we'll find out tomorrow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been okay, you know, just been doing a little bit of Zumba.
So can you go outside, or do you have to actually?
Yes, we can go outside just for some exercise, you know, or shopping, essential shopping, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing walks. I was doing walks up until Saturday. I just like got a bit of anxiety. I stopped going for my walks and I just decided to do some Zumba here at home.
Oh, okay. Okay. And is that Zumba? I saw something. Is that Zumba run by somebody in your group, or is it?
To be honest, I was just doing some Zumba. You know how we started the BLC group, Biggest Loser Challenge. So we have about 21 members on there, and yeah, a few of us just decided to lead a Zumba class. So I've been doing it the last couple of days. So whether there's like 2 or 3 members that jump on, all goods, you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is a challenge that you opened up to your group, right? Okay. Maybe we should start again, because there'll be some people when I put this up onto the page. So you run a Fight Against Diabetes group that you set up. And when did you set that up? Do you want to say a little bit about when you set that up and why you have?
Sure. I created this group this year at the end of May. The end of May, I lost my sister. She had diabetes. She ended up with renal failure and other health issues. So she passed away early May. So, you know, it took me some time to grieve for her, you know, in our family. So it took me a couple of weeks, you know, to get my my heart back into, you know, exercising.
Yeah.
And so I've gone up for a walk up to, we've got a place called the Colonial Knob here in Porirua, and I love that walk. So on my walk up the Colonial Knob, yeah, I just thought about creating a group, a platform where my family could just come and share, you know, some their walking or exercise routines and healthy eating tips. So I created FAD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your sister, she's older sister, or how many?
Yeah. So I come from a family of 8, and unfortunately I have lost my 2 sisters. There were 3 of us. I have lost 2 sisters to diabetes.
Yeah.
Both ended up on dialysis, and unfortunately both had kidney disease and all that comes with that. So yeah, it's been a battle.
Oh,
So,
okay. And this is type 2, eh? Type 2 diabetes?
type 2
Okay.
diabetes.
So they were diabetic for quite a while?
They were, and if I'm right, they were both diagnosed when they became pregnant. Their first pregnancy, because that happens to some women, right?
Yeah.
So that's when they became diabetic, and yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder if that's because that's when they start to have those checks, and that's when they have the blood tests and everything else because of the situation, and that's when they know and things.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. So were you like primary caregiver for your sister, or what's, you know?
No, but I was primary caregiver, sorry, for my mother as well. My mother also passed from the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So she had diabetes for 40 years, 40 plus years, I think, yeah, about 40 plus years. And came to the point where she had kidney failure. and became terminally ill. So I was her main caregiver. I looked after her, took care of her, and she passed away here at home.
Yeah.
And I saw the struggles that my mum went through. She became blind, from the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one on her left eye. And I just saw her going through a lot of changes. And right to the end, it was hard to see my mum struggle, because they come up with all sorts of sicknesses when you're going through that stage of the end of life because of kidney failure. But so I've seen a lot happen with my family, and I don't want to see any more members go through this or anyone else.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for me, it was my father and things. So, but it was like maybe probably more than 10 years ago that he was diagnosed. And by that time, it was like we didn't really know what it was. It was like, oh, okay, sugar. All right, well, stop drinking Coke then, Dad. Stop drinking those things or eating chocolate. That's all we thought. But we never really looked at it much. And so, and he was given like some pills, and we thought, okay, well, that's the thing. You get sick, go to doctor gives you some pills, and then basically says, just watch your diet, because he wasn't really overweight as well.
Yeah.
And so, and then I was like, okay, but we sort of like left him to actually handle it while we just carried on doing our things.
Yeah.
And all he was doing, and all he was doing was like, he would tell us, he'll go, don't eat all that sugar, don't eat the lollies and things like that. And we would go, oh, yeah, but we thought, well, we're active, we can carry on kind of thing. But the thing is, you're active only because you think about who you are at that time, and what you're doing. But age and everything else starts catching up to you and things.
That's
and then
right.
it starts, And that's when I started to sort of think, well, hang on, there were a lot of people in the family that had sicknesses like that, but I didn't realize that somehow it was starting to link to be that common thing. So it was only from, that over the years that I started paying a bit more attention. And unfortunately, for my father, it was just a bit too late with everything. But in a way, I was like thinking, well, it was still affecting cousins. It was still affecting other members, And so that's how I started to get into it. I was thinking, well, okay, I need to actually look a little bit more into it. I was pre-diabetic. I don't know, were you pre-diabetic?
No,
or you were okay?
Bernie, from this 8 of us, I think I'm the only one that didn't get diabetes. Yeah. I used to say, oh my goodness, I say, what a blessing. Oh, I'm so blessed I didn't get diabetes. To me now, I think that's not a blessing. That's like a curse. I don't want to be the only one still here in my family, get sick or no. I want everyone to be well, if we can do what we can to help
Okay.
others.
Yeah. So you thought, okay, you'll put this Facebook group together for your family, and then it's just growing over the time, isn't it?
Yeah. I just thought, I'm going to add some of my nieces, my nephews, some of my siblings. And then I thought, hey, this is open to everyone. Like, why am I just going to want to help my family? I'll add some friends. Yeah, and then some friends added their friends. So I think we have close to 180 members on here. And a lot of people here don't really personally know them, but I'm sure they're on here for a reason. I don't think there's anyone that doesn't know anyone that has, sorry. I think everyone knows someone that has diabetes, right? I think so. It affects so many people.
Yeah. No, it's good. Oh, that's all right. So, and now I know you've got your great old, FAD thing on, which is great. That gives it's like a common cause, right, for everybody and things. And you started to add a few more things like the challenge. You want to tell me about the challenge and how did that come about?
Actually, one of the members of FAD mentioned it to me, one of my nieces. She was like, Auntie, we should start something like a Biggest Loser challenge. And I thought, yeah, we'll start something like this just to make it a bit more fun. I don't know what's fun about doing exercise, but and I thought, hey, we'll put a bit of a prize money in there too, So yeah, there's a bit of a prize money in there and one of these hoodies. So yeah, there's about 21 members on the Biggest Loser challenge, and we have a private group, and yeah, we're doing well. Everyone's posting, or not everybody, because there's some people that are low key, Bernie. They don't like to share their opinion, and they're entitled. They're entitled to their privacy. But yeah. And there's a few.
So when did you start? When did you start that?
I think today is we're into 21 days today.
And how long are you going to go for?
Till the end of September. It was a 2-month, 8-week challenge. 8-week challenge. So we're on 21 days now. So another month.
Okay. And there must be some progress already, though, eh? From
I have not slowly, because we're in lockdown. A little bit of online things, So everyone's not going out to the gym or going out for their walks as much as we were before lockdown. But still, some of us are doing Zumba at home. There's still some people that are going out for walks, and we're sharing healthy tips, healthy meals on our on that private page we've got, and we're always encouraging each other. We're like a family, because I call even the FAD group members, we are a family, so we always encourage each other.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah. So in terms of like, I don't know how old you are. I know I'm 56, right? I think. Am I older than you?
How old are you?
I said 56.
Oh my goodness, I'm not far behind you. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like thinking.
You look really good.
Hey, what?
I'm 50. Yeah.
But I feel more energetic now than what I did in my whole 40s. I think. So, yeah, but that just goes to show, just when you make those changes, how much, it actually can positively affect you as well.
And that's right. And you feel so much energetic, hey? You feel so more energetic. You look good. You must have taken away 10 years.
I think, well, I mean, I took away 46 kilos.
Wow. Can I ask how you did that?
Yeah. Yeah, so that whole thing happened only at the end of July last year. Yeah. July last year. And for the whole 15 years before that, I was around about your 90 kilos up. And at the end of July last year, I was 104.5 kilograms and things. So I'm 5'6" and things, so it's probably about medium kind of thing. But yeah, and of course, I'm in my mid-50s and things as well. I used to be active only in my 20s, and then 30s, I was actually smoking for a few years and things, and I was doing the whole sort of, hey, I'll go out for a drink, work, great, all that kind of stuff. It was enjoyable. Then I've got 2 children. Okay. And basically after the second one, and he's 16 now, I just decided to sort of like almost like, you know, sort of stop, you know, it's getting a bit, maybe it was the 40s, I don't know what was happening thing. And I was just, I'd keep eating. I still had a sweet tooth because every time I go to New Zealand, I would come back with half a suitcase full of chocolate biscuits and lollies and all that stuff, you know, from New Zealand, because it's like, hey, you can't get it here, you know, in Australia. And every time somebody would come visit, I'd go, can you please bring some biscuits and, you know, and all those other things, Oddfellows, because I love Oddfellows and all that one.
Oh.
But they would always bring that back. So I had that sweet tooth for a long time. But then I could feel it. You could feel your body starting to go, it's like, I don't think you really like that, you know, and it was like giving you headaches. Everything started to hurt.
Yeah.
And so because I would go to the doctor like once a year, maybe twice a year, and get a check, he always said, oh yeah, you're pre-diabetic, you're vitamin D deficient, and anemic, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, because I was still like, you know, carrying on. I thought it was okay. Yeah, as you do, like that. And then last year I was like, maybe I need to do something different, right? I have to actually do something different. And somehow I thought maybe I'll just try and just change what I was eating. That's the first step. I just changed what I was eating. And then I added exercise. And this was all, but I was pretty strict for 3 months. Very, you know, for some reason it was like, this is what I'm going to do, right? And then all the time it was like, okay, well, the weight's starting to come off and everything else. And then you start researching, right? And then you're looking into the whole thing and you're thinking, hey, what's this thing about being able to reverse your diabetes? You know, I didn't know about that. And then when you look into that, and then it's like, oh, it is possible. And then I thought, is it possible for me not to be pre-diabetic? And so I thought, oh, well, I'll carry on with my new lifestyle, you know, thing. I didn't say anything to my family. It was like they saw what I was doing, but they were like thinking, oh, okay, some diet that I was on. But then they were thinking, wow, it was like, you know, the weight's coming off and you're running around like that. And then it was like, and the next thing I go to the doctor and he goes, oh, well, let's do some blood checks. Then it was like a week later and then it was like, oh, well, you're actually like, everything was fine. Everything was reversed and all that kind of stuff. I was like, so there is something to it. Just, you know, I didn't need to have, touch wood, medication. So I was really thankful for that and things. So and then all of that just led me to actually like finding out, linking up with people like you that were doing, you know, the same kind of things. I thought maybe I'm going to just share my story. And when I started to share my story, then my own family started to think, oh, you know, what's happening there? And then that started to spread.
You've helped them as well?
Yeah. I mean, they contact me now and then on the messages, and I was like, hey, yeah, and then they'll follow, because I mean, I put up a little group as well because I wanted to go down this whole, you know, and I go in there and I share things that I know, because I'm going down the whole path of trying to learn more about nutrition and the importance of food. Yeah. So, what were you going to say?
I need to educate myself more on nutrition as well. So I'm so glad that, you know, I'm having this talk with you. I just wanted to talk about, you know, what I've read about New Zealand, you know, having one of the highest rates of obesity.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sad, and a lot of the population is mostly Pacific Islanders.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know whether it's, I don't know what it is that we are the high percentage in that. I don't know whether it's because we're all actually eating all the wrong foods, but then because you think, hang on, we're eating the same food as every other ethnic group out there. They've got access to that. So
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think the answer is? I think I think our people do eat, they eat too much of their own foods. Do you know what, really? I'll be honest, with my family, we used to drink, I used to see our recycling bin had so many empty bottles of fizzy drinks. Back in the day, I'm not even going to lie to you. And now, we don't drink fizzy drinks. We've got a water cooler. So we have made changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I call fizzy drinks poison.
Yeah, they are. They are. I see, it's funny because people used to go, well, hang on, Pacific Islanders, we've got a relationship with food where it's quite important part of our culture, right? When people come around and see us, it's almost like, oh, have you eaten? You want something to eat? Kind of thing.
True.
Yeah, but then I was like thinking, well, hang on, we've been around for a long time. Food's been around for a long time. So the relationship's always been like that, where we would, share food. I guess it must be the actual what we're sharing that's
right.
actually doing this to us, right? And we don't really know what we're sharing until we actually learn more about it, right? And then go and really question it, and then think, well, we can carry on with sharing and the foods and everything else, but let's share other types of food.
Right. You got a good point. I must say that when us Pacific Islanders, what I see here is when there's a funeral, a wedding, a birthday, come on, what do you see? You see pig, sorry, Tilo, you see pig, taro, you see chop suey, all the heavy food, some of them even have fizzy drinks. Yeah, the small bottles, jolly drinks. We need to make changes. Yeah, when we have these gatherings, I think Pacific Islanders need to make changes with what's on the menu.
Yeah.
Let's change what we're eating,
Yeah. So that has to be it, basically. Yeah, what we're eating, which can only come about through knowledge, right? And then it's not, because we're not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming my parents or anybody else as to how I was actually raised, because I bet if they knew what they knew, kind of thing, they would have made those changes and things. And the thing is, we're still living in those times where those foods are still there. The pressure all around us with all the marketing and the selling and all that stuff, is it any wonder that obesity for most of the groups, not just Pacific Islanders, is actually really high and things. So, and everybody's just trying to adapt with it. Trying to deal with it. And I guess for us, because we're small, I remember my conversation with that Dr. Amos, if you're actually going to watch that. And he was saying, like, we're a small country, we're a small nation, so it's like it's good that if we can actually get into like the knowledge and learn about it and then try to do something about it, and then we have that community spirit to try and share it and help each other, right? Because it really affects us, because it is quite sad seeing a lot of those funerals that we see a lot of, and thinking, gosh, something could have actually been done to prevent that kind of thing. So
I wish I would have known back then, and made some changes back then, because you're right, you brought that up. back then we weren't thinking about further down the line. Yeah, it was going to get worse, you know. I just worry for our children. I worry for our children. Will they even, you know, like I know diabetes is affecting more of our younger generation. What is it going to be like in another 20 years' time? That's sad.
Yeah. Yep. You're right, because they're coming out, even when they're being born, they're coming out diabetic and things, which is, yeah, so I guess, but I mean, the good thing is that there are changes in the way that, like you said, you know, your recycle bins, you used to see those things and think, oh, wow. But now, you know, a lot more people are drinking water. I know in Tokelau that they put that law where they banned soda drinks.
Yeah, they need to ban it everywhere here in New Zealand too.
So they banned it there, but the only interesting, I'm gonna say this too, because I was in Tokelau in 2018, is that they almost like had the Milo with a lot of sugar in it, which is just as not, you know, it's not as good. It's not good either. So, but that's why I'm looking a bit further into the whole addiction part of sugar.
Yeah.
Because there are so many programs when you relate it to alcohol or you relate it to smoking. People can see those things and they put those programs in place to try to help people with those addictions. But because you can't really see the effect of sugar until like 20 years down the track, kind of thing, that it really needs to be sort of treated almost the same way, because the sugar, once it starts building up in your system, is very, very hard, because it gives you that high. You know, when you eat a bar of chocolate, bang, you feel really good. Yeah. And then you feel guilty like anything afterwards or something like that if you're, you know, strayed. And so it's the same kind of thing. Like when you have a drink or you drink lots and lots of drink, you feel sort of like okay, and then too much is not good for you. Thing. So I reckon it's about it's running along the same type of addictive nature. So if we can somehow actually treat it like it's an addiction and then work through it, things with a big support, you know, and knowledge and everything else, then we could try to actually have a different conversation about it. Then rather than sort of see things like, oh, this diet here, this diet there, yeah, let's lose weight, you know, when we're not actually looking deeper into the whole thing.
That is so true, Bernie. And I think, you know, we all have to work together. We all have to motivate our family members, because I know sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. Some family members don't take it serious enough. And I don't want to be a judge. I don't like to judge people, because everyone's got, you know, their own way of dealing with things. But I think I noticed with some people with diabetes, they don't like to talk about it. Some people like, they don't want other people to know that they have diabetes, you know. I don't know whether that might be a problem too, you know. Once you can admit that you have diabetes and do something to help yourself, then you can help others.
Yeah. Because it's a funny thing. I don't know whether it's a stigma or it's an immediate thought when somebody says, when you're diagnosed you're a diabetic, it's like, oh my God, it's a death sentence or something, you know. And we link that immediately, and maybe that sort of, I don't know what it does to us, and we think, okay, well, there's nothing that I can actually do against it now. It's basically, that's what's going to happen to me.
That's right.
And we need to have a different conversation. We need to have a different conversation. No, it's not. You can actually do some things still, you know, to make it easier.
So, yeah. I'm so glad that you're on here, you know, sharing your knowledge about diabetes, because I know that you are a healthy coach.
Yeah.
And I feel very honored to have you here on our FAD group, and for those those viewers who are watching now, I'm so happy to say that Bruni is one of our admin on this page. I've invited her because I think that your expertise on diabetes, it's going to be a blessing to help everyone here. And I'm really happy that you're sharing your knowledge about, you know, diabetes and your experiences with diabetes. And we got to make some changes, right, Bernie?
We do. And, you know, like I said, it will start with ourselves, and then it will just move into, you know, those ones that are basically, because people look, if people aren't actually doing it, people are sort of like, they'll be curious about what's going on and things.
That's right.
And that's all we can do, just keep going, keep doing it kind of stuff. And it's not like to say, oh, hey, I did it, and it's like, yeah, and you guys should do it, and then you're on your own, go do your own research.
Got to be consistent with your support. You got to support your, you know, your fellow men, your family, especially the young ones, because I know sometimes the young ones, they just can't be bothered with exercise, right?
Yeah.
We got to motivate the young ones somehow. That's why I'm happy you're here. You might have some great ideas.
Oh no, the only thing I do when it comes to exercise is I exercise at home. So 24/7, people, you don't need to be like worried about the weather. It's like you just go wherever to your living room, find your TV, and I do YouTube videos. But the main thing is what you said, it's just being consistent and just doing it every time. So
and having a healthy mindset, you got to have self-love. You got to love yourself, you know, love yourself enough to take care of yourself. You only get one body. Right? Look after it.
Yeah. You might want somebody else's body, but nah, it's your body, and your body can actually, you can do something about it, eh?
Really, this might be an R18. Come on. Yeah. Right.
No.
We have to look after ourselves, and who knows, you know, what my vision for that is. One of my visions for our group is that hopefully we can get some funding from some kind-hearted organization. You know, we need somewhere where we can go and, I don't know, do some exercises, do some Zumba, have some exercise equipment, you know, because I know life is hard when it comes to funding, money. So yeah, I want a place, a safe place where we can go, people of all ages, people of all sizes, place where you feel comfortable, because sometimes people are too shy to go to the gym. I have family that are too shy to go to the gym. They feel, I don't know, because some of us islanders are shy. So that stops, you know, the sad fact is, personally, I think, because I've seen with some of my family members that they're a bit shy about going to the gym. And then, you know, sometimes they feel like they're too big, you know, the ma, you know, the Tupalang word ma, to go into a gym.
Yeah.
So I hope that there'll be a place sometime in the near future here in Porirua where we could all go and, you know, and work out and feel comfortable and feel accepted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And that's why it's like I'm thinking, well, if you are, then at least you can start just with the YouTube and in your own home. You know,
Yeah.
if you're too scared to actually do that, or your money wise, it doesn't cost anything. If you're going to be watching YouTube anyway, it's like just stand up and watch a movie or something like that and start walking. You know, the little tiny little steps that you just end up building, kind of thing. And then you think, oh, okay. And it's just very similar to what we're doing here, because we don't often talk, you know, I don't often talk with somebody else type of thing, but we need, for us to actually have those conversations, then I think it's good that people get to know us a little bit more, and then, you know, and then basically just make it easier, because we're not anybody special. I'm just well, my Samoa name is Pepe, but you know, it's like it's Pereira, you know, Perez Pereira. So in that Tokalauan bit thing,
Big
if you
family.
hey,
It's a big
yeah,
family.
it is a big family. My cousin, God bless her, basically said I should learn how to speak Tokalauan and things, and I went, yep, okay, I will. Or, you know, I try to think, and she always just she's just writing to me in Tokalauan without any English translation. So it's like, and I'm just reading it really slowly, trying to work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's something for me to actually do as well. So it's like everybody starts at 1 or A and starts moving slowly through everything. But I love the fact that you said somewhere that you guys can just support each other, because sometimes willpower or doing it yourself is very difficult. You may need other people.
That's true. That's true. So I've got there's a few members that I call them my day ones. So they've been supporting FAD from day one. So we've got this little group. So a few of us, you know, we do things together. Like we'll go for walks together. You know, we do our little Zumba classes together. You know, online, at home, and so it's always good. I mean, it's nice to do it by yourself, but it's also good to have other people, because it motivates you. You know, when you know, that's how I feel. It motivates you more when you have other people joining you.
I think us Islanders are actually quite competitive too, you know, so that might be the whole thing too. No, but that's good. Well, I'm glad. I mean, I think we're going to be talking again anyway, kind of stuff, because we're in each other's groups and things. So I'm sure we're going to be sharing some information, and there's a lot more of us that we can talk around, you know, and talk. Because I notice that I'm in a group where it's like they talk to a lot of the medical sort of field, which is all good, but it doesn't sort of their stories can't relate, because they're talking from their perspective. So it's always good to actually sort of like, you know, when we talk about our own personal thing and then we're sort of sharing it out, how it feels.
It's raw.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like we're a patient A or B that had these symptoms, you know, kind of thing, and that's how we dealt with them. So we're real people, and we're just trying to do our best with what we know and with what we can learn, and hopefully with the support. And I want to tell everybody, you are supported. You know, if you're in our groups, you basically are supported. But by all means, no question's a dumb question. So if you got comments or whatever and questions, just ask, you know, or, you know, we don't even know all the answers. So
I'm learning. You know, every day I'm learning. So please share on our page. Please share, because we're all here to help. So glad that you're on our admin team. Our other admins, they need to get to talk to you too.
yeah, you've got a few of them.
There's a few. Well, we're a good support. You know, we support each other well. We have our own little group chat and share ideas of what we can bring to our page. So I'm glad that you're on board, and I'm sure we will all benefit having you here on our in our group. Thank you, Bernie.
It's the same. It's the same. I love the fact that you guys all share your videos. They are so inspirational when somebody posts a video or does a post. Hey, it's like I look at.
I agree. I know that there's a lot of shy people, as we Tokalauans are very shy, right?
Yep.
And I must say, when I see people sharing their videos, their lives, it motivates me. You know, it motivates me. And maybe the next day I'll go for a walk because I saw someone's video. So keep sharing, please. Please keep sharing. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps others. It really does.
Okay. All right. Well, we could actually go on forever, but you know, we are going to, we'll just, I mean, whatever, we'll be back on again kind of stuff. We'll just talk, you know, with other ones. So hello to all those people who are actually watching live and things. Thank you for your patience. We did have our technical problems, but we got there in the end.
It was me.
No, it was me. I was trying to work this thing. But anyway, we're there. So Mahina, you keep up the great job. Good luck with the, are you doing the BLC as well, or you just basically?
I am doing the BLC. Yes, I'm on the BLC as well. So like I said, today is day 21, and because we're on lockdown level 4, you know, it's put a bit of a halt on our Biggest Loser challenge, but hey, we're still pushing play. Still trying.
Yeah, good on you. All right, then. I will we'll catch you again. We'll talk again some other time and things. All right.
Thank you. You take care. And thank you for this opportunity, Bernie.